Have you ever heard that fasting and helping the poor, as mentioned in the Bible, are included in the same concept? If you weren't aware of this yet, I hope this video will be a great help. I've made it as concise and clear as possible, so please listen to the end. The Bible says that those who share food with the poor will be blessed.
A person who takes good care of others, specifically one who shares food with the poor, will be blessed.
Moreover, helping the poor is expressed as being akin to honoring God.
Oppressing the poor is an insult to the God who made him, but showing kindness to the needy is honoring the God who created him.
In other words, helping the poor is a way of honoring God, and there is an even more amazing promise. Helping the poor is like lending to God, and He has promised to repay you directly.
Having compassion for the poor and being kind to him is like lending to the Lord, and in due time, the Lord will repay him according to his deeds.
This is what God is saying.
Helping the poor is something you have done for me. I will never forget the debt of that love and will surely repay it.
However, if we delve deeper here, we can see that helping the poor is connected to the fasting, piety, and love that God delights in, as the Bible says.
Isn't the fast that I choose to loose the bonds of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, to let the oppressed go free, and to break every yoke? Isn't it to share your bread with the hungry, and to bring the poor who are cast out to your house? When you see the naked, that you cover him, and not to hide yourself from your own flesh.
Here, it shows that fasting is not simply about abstaining from food. It includes caring for those who are suffering, feeding the hungry, and clothing the naked. Also, regarding the piety that God accepts, it is said,
Pure and undefiled religion before God the Father is this, to visit orphans and widows in their trouble, and to keep oneself unspotted from the world.
In other words, the fasting and piety that God delights in also include caring for the poor and the weak. It seems like God is saying,
Do you want to fast before me? Do you want to live righteously? I want you to care for the poor with love. That is the fast I delight in, and true righteousness.
And on the day of judgment, this message is clearly revealed in the scene where Jesus separates the sheep from the goats.
When I was hungry, you gave me something to eat. When I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink. When I was a stranger, you welcomed me. When I was naked, you clothed me. When I was sick, you took care of me. When I was in prison, you came to visit me.
Jesus said that whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. And conversely, what you did not do for the least of these, you did not do for me. In other words, feeding the hungry, giving drink to the thirsty, welcoming the stranger, clothing the naked, and caring for the sick. All of these are acts of honoring God and loving Jesus. And the one word that penetrates all of this is this.
A new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another.
The command to love one another as I have loved you actually encompasses everything that God has spoken about. Fasting, piety, and helping the poor. God never forgets the poor, and through us, who love them, He wishes to pour His love onto this earth. I sincerely hope that this deep and warm cry of love that God has conveyed to us reaches your heart. I will pray that God's overflowing blessings and love be with you and your family.